down, and
WWE has been consumed not just by the slow unraveling of the bloodline, but by the seismic betrayal of Roman Reigns, the once untouchable tribal chief left stripped of allies, his aura shattered, and his empire on the verge of collapse. But amidst the fallout, through the cracks in the bloodline's crumbling legacy, emerged a shadow from the past, a ghost, a reckoning. The betrayal came not with a steel chair or a sneak attack, but with silence, the kind of silence that cuts deeper than any promo ever could. Paul Heyman, the wise man, the so-called mastermind behind Roman's reign, showed his true colors. Not only did he walk away from Reigns at his lowest, but he allegedly began orchestrating the birth of a new era in WWE's power structure. And at the center of this new age, Seth Rollins, Heyman's hidden hand behind the curtain, whispers turned into roars. Paul Heyman, it seemed, hadn't just betrayed Roman Reigns. He was quietly laying the groundwork for something even bigger. Conversations in hushed tones backstage, mysterious meetings, closed-door strategy sessions. He was planting seeds not for a new faction, but for an evolution. Enter Seth Rollins, the once black-clad architect of the Shield, now clad in flamboyant suits and dripping in charisma, had emerged as WWE's golden boy again. With Roman sidelined, CM Punk injured, and chaos reigning on both Raw and SmackDown, Seth seized the moment like a man possessed. Some say Heyman saw in Seth what he once saw in Roman: potential, charisma, ruthlessness. Others claim Rollins and Heyman had been collaborating for months, pulling strings, manipulating outcomes, stacking the deck for a hostile takeover. But if Heyman thought he had everything under control, he forgot one thing. You can't control a storm like Jon Moxley. Darkness falls. Moxley's message. It happened during an untelevised AEW dark match, the kind of indie-adjacent underground spectacle that thrives off unpredictability. The arena lights cut out, no warning, no music, just darkness. The air was sucked from the room, the silence deafening. Then a flicker. The Titantron burst to life, not with fireworks or logos, but with a solitary spotlight shining in a blood-red hue. And in that eerie glow, drenched in crimson, stood Jon Moxley. His face was emotionless, his eyes locked on the camera like twin daggers. He said nothing at first. He didn't need to. The atmosphere turned suffocating. Then, in that haunting, gravel-soaked voice, Moxley broke the silence. "Paul, I only got one message for you." In his hand was a folded, weathered piece of paper, the original Shield contract from 2012. A relic of war, a symbol of unity, loyalty, and blood-forged brotherhood. Without breaking his stare, Moxley unfolded it, looked it over one final time, and lit it on fire. He held it in his bare palm as the flames consumed it. The screen faded to black. The only sound left in the arena was the crackle of burning paper, echoing like a funeral pyre. Heyman shaken, WWE on alert. Backstage sources confirmed the chilling truth. Paul Heyman was watching the footage live when Moxley burned the original Shield contract. The moment those flames sparked, Heyman stood up, face drained of color, and walked out without a word. He didn't speak. He didn't return calls. He vanished. Whispers rippled through the locker room like aftershocks. Some insiders claim he phoned Seth Rollins immediately. Others say he went straight to Triple H, voice trembling with urgency. One thing united all the reports: fear. Jon Moxley wasn't making a statement. He was issuing a warning. WWE had no idea where or when he would strike, only that he would. And now, with Moxley unbound by contracts or rules, the company is in lockdown mode. Security has been increased. Emergency meetings are underway. Because when Moxley hunts, he doesn't stop until the target is down. and everyone knows Heyman is at the top of that list. The most dangerous free agent in wrestling. Unlike most returns, this isn't a typical WWE re-signing. Moxley isn't under contract. He's a free agent, a wild card, a loaded weapon with no leash. That's what makes him so terrifying. He can appear anywhere, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, even WrestleMania itself, and no one can legally stop him. Triple H reportedly convened emergency meetings with creative and talent relations. Security has been quietly tripled at all tapings. Superstars have been told to stay vigilant. Every backstage hallway could hide a threat. Every locker room segment could be a setup. Because when Moxley shows up, someone's going to bleed. The Shield's legacy in ashes. The Shield wasn't just a faction, it was a revolution. 3 men united by a cause who changed the landscape of modern wrestling. But that brotherhood? It died long ago. Moxley watched as Seth Rollins ascended to championship glory while turning his back on Roman and the values they once fought for. He watched as Heyman corrupted Reigns, trading leadership for dictatorship. And now, with Roman fallen, Seth thriving, and Heyman plotting, Moxley's mission is simple. Burn it all down. He doesn't want a title. He doesn't want main events or pyro or sponsorships. He wants revenge. He wants to dismantle the machine that twisted their legacy into a marketing slogan. Seeds of Vengeance. Insiders say Moxley has been watching for months. He followed the Bloodline saga from afar. He stayed silent through the implosions, the betrayals, the mind games. But when he discovered that Heyman had tried to cut a secret deal with CM Punk, betraying Roman behind his back, it was the final straw. To Moxley, Heyman didn't just break a business relationship, he violated a code. And Seth? His betrayal goes deeper. This isn't about heel turns or storyline betrayals. This is about Moxley being the last man standing who still honors what the Shield meant. And now he's taking it all back, through fire, steel, and blood. A war on the horizon WrestleMania looms, casting a long shadow over WWE. The grandest stage of them all could very well become the battleground for the most personal war WWE has seen in over a decade. Will Moxley strike during a Rollins title defense? Will he ambush Heyman in a backstage promo? Will he hijack a live broadcast and bring his chaos to the heart of the company? Every scenario is terrifying because there's no pattern, no warning, and Moxley doesn't bluff. What comes next? The Shield's downfall wasn't caused by one man. It was an avalanche of betrayals, lies, and backroom deals. Moxley isn't just coming for Heyman or Seth. He could target anyone who played a part in the corruption, anyone who stood by while the foundation crumbled. That includes allies, commentators, backstage figures, even CM Punk if the rumors of his involvement prove true. Everyone's a target, and no one is safe. Seth, in the crosshairs Rollins, for his part, hasn't commented publicly, but his silence speaks volumes. Deep down, he knows what's coming. He remembers the pain of Moxley's last heel turn. He knows Moxley isn't bound by rules. There's no contract clause or company edict that can stop what's coming. Rollins may wear the World Heavyweight Championship. He may be headlining shows, dancing through fire and glory. But Moxley is the shadow behind the spotlight. And he's waiting. Heyman vanishes. As of this writing, Paul Heyman has gone completely dark. No tweets, no appearances, no public statements. WWE officials claim he's taking time to assess recent events. But those close to him know better. He's afraid. Because Paul Heyman understands exactly what Moxley is capable of. He knows Moxley doesn't play by wrestling rules. He's not about pops or merch sales. He's about consequences, and those consequences are coming, fast. A reckoning, not a return. This isn't a surprise pop. This isn't nostalgia bait. This is a reckoning. A message to everyone in WWE who's forgotten what the Shield represented. Loyalty, brotherhood, purpose. Moxley isn't interested in titles or contracts. He's here to torch the infrastructure, to dismantle every piece of what WWE became in the wake of the Shield's death. And when he makes his move, when that music hits, or when the lights go out, or when that camera flickers to life, it will change everything. Forever. The final question. So now the WWE Universe waits, anticipates, fears. Is Moxley going to tear through WrestleMania like a force of nature? Is he going to strike from the shadows like a ghost with a vendetta? Or is he planning something so calculated, so explosive, that it'll make Shield history look like a prelude? One thing is clear. He's not done. This is only the beginning. Stay alert. Stay ready. Because when Moxley moves, the whole world will feel it.